In this lesson, we will learn how to add a CSS class to the selected element with jQuery. So on a web page, if you want to add a single class or multiple classes to an element, you can easily achieve this with jQuery. Let us understand the concept with some examples. So to add a class to the selected element on a web page, use the built-in method addClass. Using the same method, easily add a single class to the selected element. You can also add multiple classes. With that, you can also add a single class to different elements. And with that, we will also see how to add multiple classes to different elements on a web page. We will see these examples that would cover the complete concept of addClass method, that is to add a CSS class. Let us start with the first example, single class. So to add a single class, we will use the addClass method on a web page. The addClass is a built-in method provided by jQuery. We will add a single class, let's say demo here. Let us now see the example. Here we have our VS Code. So we have created a jQuery tutorial folder here for all our files. For this lesson, let us create a new file. Right click, click new file. I'll name it index38.html. Okay, so let us add the structure first so that we can write the program after that. Copy, right click, paste here. Okay, this is the jQuery CDN we are using to add the jQuery code in our web page, and this is our jQuery code. Before moving towards the jQuery stuff, let us first add the HTML part under the body tag, and then we will see how to add a single class. So let's say our h1 heading is the following. I'll add some more stuff. Okay, here I'll add heading 2. That means h2 tag, another p tag. This is another demo text. Okay, now we will add the button. On clicking this button, we will add a single class. I'll show you which class. Okay, so now what I'll do, the class I need to add, I'll first add it under the style tags. That means just before the closing head. Create the style element. Here you can add the CSS styles. So let's say we will add the following demo class. That would include a new background color, that is blue background color. Text color would be white. So this is the concept. We will use the addClass method to add this class to any element. Okay, we will add it to the heading element, head1. Let's see. First we will set for the button. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just mention the button, because on clicking this button, that means the click event, we will add a new class. Okay, on clicking this button. So dot add class method, and the class we need to add is the following demo. So add demo here, that's it. On which element you want to add the class, mention it here. I want to add on the h1 heading. So when you will click this button, what will happen? Our h1 tag will include the following CSS class, because we have used the addClass method here. Okay, and our h1 would have a background color blue and the text color white. Let's run it. File, save all, right click, open in default browser. Okay, add a single class. When I'll click on this button, the following h1 heading will include the new demo class, and the background will be blue and the text color will be white as shown here. This class will get added under h1 using the addClass. Okay, I'll click here and you can see background is blue and the text color is white because we have set the addClass method on h1. Let us see the next example. In the next example, we will add multiple classes. To the same h1 heading, we will add multiple classes using the same addClass method. So we have set the demo class before. Now we will also create another class example and we will set both of them for the h1 method. Let us see the example. Let us create a new file. Right click, new file. I'll name it index39.html. Okay, since we are referring the previous code, you can go to the previous code from here, or you can go from the hierarchy and click on the previous code. Right click, copy, and right click, paste. So what we did in the previous example, we have set a single class demo using the addClass method. This was our demo. Now we can also set another class to the same element h1. How? Just mention the class here. Let's say I'll mention dot example and I'll style it. Now I'll add a border. Okay, so two classes just to show an example. Okay, now demo and example will get added to our h1 heading, but we need to set it here also, right? And we have the same addClass method. So just use the space bar and mention the second class. If you had multiple classes, you could have mentioned other classes here like this, let's say. But right now we have two classes. So I've mentioned it here. I'll explain again. Okay. On clicking the button, this button, we should also change, add multiple classes. Okay. On clicking this multiple classes button, what will happen? Click event and our h1 heading with the two classes. Therefore, background blue, color text color white, and our border would be 4px dashed and yellow. Okay, let us run it. File, save all. Right click, open in default browser. I'll click here, add multiple classes, and this will change like we saw in the previous example. But now it will also have a border. That means second class, multiple classes. Here it is. Background blue, text color white, and border yellow. Border 4px dashed yellow. So in this way, guys, we can also add multiple classes using the same addClass method. Let us see the next example. In the next example, we will add a single class to different elements. Okay. So we have seen how to add single or multiple classes to a single element before. Now we will add the same demo class to multiple elements, to h1, h2, h3, or any other element. We will use the same addClass method. Let us see the example. So our VS Code is here. I'll create a new file, right click, new file, index40.html. I'll take the code from here, the previous code. Right click, copy. Right click, paste. Okay, so in this example, on button click, we used the addClass method to set multiple classes to a single element h1. Now we will have a single class and we will add it to different elements. Let's say we have only the demo class here with the background color and the text color. I'll remove example from here, but we need to set to different elements. Okay, let me first change this, the button text, add a single class to different elements, and let me add another class also, heading 3 h3. Okay, now we will set a single class to different elements. These different elements, this is yet another. Okay, we have h1 heading, h2 heading and h3 heading. Okay, then we have this button. On clicking this button, the style of all three headings will change with this single class. So we have set the button click event also. Under add class, the demo is fine. The demo class, we are setting a single class to multiple elements. So to set multiple elements, use comma. Okay, now what will happen for all the three heading class in our example, h1, h2 heading, h3 heading, the demo class, that means background color blue and text color white, will set. Okay, for all these classes. Let us run it. File, save all, right click, open in default browser. Now I'll click here. The same styles will set for h1, h2 and h3 heading. Click the button and here it is, background blue, text white, and that's it. So we have achieved this using the addClass method. We added a single class to multiple elements. That's it. Let us see the next example. In the next example, we will add multiple classes to different elements. Okay. We will now set the demo as well as the example class to different elements. Okay, let's say h1, h2 and h3. With that, the same addClass method will be used. Let us see the example. Let us create a new file, right click, new file. I'll name it, let's say, index41.html. Let me take the same code, right click, copy, and right click, paste. Now what we are doing, we are adding multiple classes to different elements. We have set a single class to these three elements. Okay, that means these three elements, h1, h2 and h3. Now we will add multiple classes to different elements. Okay, for that what I'll do, I'll just set dot example here and let me set border 4px dashed and yellow. Now both these classes will set for these three elements. Okay, on the click of this button using the click event. File, save all, right click, open in default browser. Now when I'll click on this, add multiple classes, it should be classes to different elements. Okay, wait. We need to also set it here. Obviously we have set the first class. We will also set the second class. Just give a space and mention the second class name. First and second class, here it is. Now we will run it. File, save all, right click, open in default browser. Here it is. Now I'll click here, add multiple classes to different elements. So we have set the background color, text color as well as the border for h1, h2 and h3 headings. Using the addClass method, here it is, multiple classes and multiple elements. Guys, we saw how to add a class to the selected element using the addClass method. We saw 4 examples: to add a single class, to add multiple classes, to add a single class to different elements, and to add multiple classes to different elements. We saw these 4 examples. Thank you for watching the video.